Welcome to The Battle. I'm Matt Sidhom, and this season, Jenn Tully and I are setting sail on a journey into the world of yacht rock. We've got 16 songs across 4 brackets each week. 2 of these songs will go head-to-head until we decide the ultimate yacht rock song. Jenn, welcome back to season 3.
I'm so excited. I'm excited to talk about yacht rock. I'm excited that the battle is back. Much more uplifting subject matter. Season 2 was all about true crime. So I'm really happy that we're taking, this smooth sailing approach into season 3.
We certainly are. Yes, this is going to be a lot easier to do research and listen to the songs over and over versus last season, but still just as entertaining. I really, last season was also a lot of fun to do too, to learn a lot about those stories. So this season will be a little bit more lighthearted, but let me tell you, we're not starting light in episode 1. It's the heavyweight division. Okay. And the
Yes.
first battle in the heavyweight division involves just one artist. And this guy is like probably the first name that comes to mind when you hear about yacht rock. Okay. It is Christopher Cross.
Yes.
And we've got Sailing and taking on Ride Like the Wind. So I'm going to start it off. Now, each week, we're going to judge these songs on 3 criteria. Okay. We're going to have some fun facts for you, just some straight trivia about these songs. We're going to go over kind of the vibe and lyrics of it all, and then we're going to talk about cultural relevance. Okay, so which one is still kind of, keeping people's ears ringing, if you will, even today. So, I will start off talking about Sailing. Okay, that's going to be my song this week. Now, Sailing and Ride Like the Wind are both off of the debut album. Like, this is incredible. The debut album for Christopher Cross, okay,
Yep.
titled Christopher Cross, all right? And I mean, I think it's really appropriate to start off with a song called Sailing. So this is 1979. Couldn't be more straightforward on the lyrics. Like, this is just a song that is kind of about sailing, right? It's really straightforward. Now, if you don't know anything about sailing, there's probably a couple references that you'll get lost on. It talks about the canvas. Canvas is
Yes.
the material that makes up the sail, right? Um, and I mean, it's just a really kind of relaxing song about sailing. It's really kind of fascinating that this would come out. Now, I think it works really well in 1979. We'll talk about the cultural relevance today, but just hitting on one couple fun facts about this. It won that album won, I think, album of the year, and then record of the year was for Sailing. Song of the year was Sailing. Best new artist was Christopher Cross. I mean, he just dominated the Grammys off of this debut album, and he's still touring on it now.
Yes. It just
And
celebrated, I want to say it's like 50th anniversary or something like that. Like, it just came, he was through Austin on a tour promoting like the 50th year of this album or something insane. I mean, that's crazy.
it is really crazy. And how do you not take a step back after your debut album is this successful? But yeah, this song, I mean, obviously ultimate yacht rock song, from a lyrical standpoint. I mean, like I said, it's pretty straight ahead. There's just not a lot to this. Sailing takes me away. It talks about how, ephemeral the experience can be. And so if you're not a sailor yourself, if you've never kind of spent much time on a boat, I don't know if you can relate to this one. But Jenn, what are your thoughts about Sailing?
Well, I just in that while you were speaking, I just did some quick math there, and I guess it would be 40 years, not 50, that the album is celebrating, given that it came out in 1980. So, quick little math update there. But you know what? I think sailing is a great place to start with, just kind of a loose definition too, right? Like, if you're looking at a definition of yacht rock, it says this is pulled straight from YouTube here. Yacht rock is a loosely defined genre of soft rock music that was popular in the late 70s and early 80s, characterized by its smooth, sophisticated sound, polished production, that's really important, I think, and influences from jazz and R&B. That's something I think people often don't know when they're talking about yacht rock. And it's often associated with a vibe of relaxed, affluent lifestyles, particularly those associated with Southern California and yachting. So if you go by that strict definition, I feel like sailing is textbook, right? I mean, it checks off a whole lot of those boxes. It came out in the early 80s. It's very smooth. It does have a sophisticated aspirational sound, very polished production from the wind chimes, that you hear throughout the song. And it's clearly influenced by jazz and R&B too. You can hear that in some of the melodic breaks of the music. And certainly, just because of the name sailing, it makes you conjure images of yachting and this highbrow lifestyle. So I think it certainly checks a lot of the boxes. And I think if you say the words yacht rock, name a yacht rock song to anybody, I feel like 9 times out of 10, sailing is what's going to come out of their mouth.
Yes, and Christopher Cross was probably the artist that's going to come out of their mouths, right? Like,
Yeah.
so it's not just, even though this is kind of the biggest hit off of that initial album and maybe his biggest hit ever. I mean, it really, any number of his songs could kind of fit that definition as you just laid it out. So,
Well, and
it's, go ahead.
well, I was going to say another funny thing, for it conjuring this Southern California vibe. Christopher Cross was Texan. He grew up he grew up here. He wrote a lot of his music here. He kind of became famous here. So it's really funny to me, as Texans, that yeah, I think that gets lost about Christopher Cross a lot, that he's actually a Texas guy.
Yeah, no, very odd that he would get. And look, there's plenty of sailors. I'm sure we got plenty of people out there who are doing some sailing. Hopefully, they're listening to our podcast right now while you're out in the boat. But it's not like he grew up on a marina necessarily, right? Like,
Right, right, right.
yeah. So this is not. He's not native to it. You're absolutely right that he would just fall into this genre. Is kind of funny. Um, but Jen, tell us about "Ride Like the Wind."
So I feel like I'm coming in from like a position of needing to defend, right? Because, like I just said, I think Sailing is sort of the quintessential yacht rock song. I think it's what most people think of when you say yacht rock to them. So I'm trying to build a case here for why Ride Like the Wind should advance. So I'll say a few things here. As we mentioned before, this album, quintessential yacht rock, sits squarely in the definition of that kind of music, and just a great album. There's also the hit Never Be the Same Again on this
Mm-hmm.
album, another classic Christopher Cross song that I think is super underrated. I love that one. But anyway, if I'm building a case here for Ride Like the Wind, first off, I think it has to be stated that this song was his debut single. This is the first song ever
Wow.
released by Christopher Cross. Is Ride Like It was not Sailing. Contrary to popular belief, it was Ride Like the Wind. So this is the song that introduced him to the world and subsequently sold bazillions of copies of this album and continues to do so. So I think that has to be considered, that this was his debut single. This was the first song we'd ever heard from Christopher Cross. Then the song, like when you listen to it, it's like a Western
Yeah.
wrapped in a ballad, tied up with like harmonies and amazing backing vocals, right? Like you've got like this really interesting package of sound, which he will not be a stranger to this podcast. Spoiler alert: we will talk about Michael McDonald a
Yeah.
lot here in this season, but those backing vocals are Michael McDonald, and they are fantastic. You don't have the amazing caliber of song without those backing vocals, in my opinion. I think the other thing too is the song is it's up tempo, it's catchy. Like Sailing is catchy, but definitely not up tempo. Ride Like the Wind gives you a little more to groove to there. And people love yacht rock because it's fun and mellow, and I feel like this song embodies sort of the jazzy rhythmic vibes, but it's still super duper smooth as well. Like you get the da 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 da, like that part is like
Yeah.
amazing to me. And it has a driving beat that's just perfect for turning it up loud and listening in your car or on your boat, as it were. So I feel like Sailing might be the anthem of soft rock, but Ride Like the Wind is just like it's like a quintessential yacht rock cruiser, right? Like you've got like this one just keeps coming at you, whereas I feel like Sailing conjures like peaceful candlelit vibes, but not Ride Like the Wind. That one kind of slaps. It hits.
It does. I totally agree, and I think neither one of these really specifically calls out a yacht, because Sailing sort of invokes like the sunset cruise or whatever,
Right.
maybe, and you're working the mast and trying to catch some wind a little bit, but you're very relaxed. Ride Like the Wind, like you're making a getaway, right? This
Yeah.
song is about a getaway. So yeah, it's definitely a lot more up tempo and fun. I mean, for me personally, not to get out again, this is not the final verdict, but I want to hear Ride Like the Wind anytime, more so than I want to do say when I want to hear Sailing.
I do too. I feel like it's kind of an unpopular opinion, but I feel like again, my job here today was to build a case for Ride Like the Wind because Sailing's a really tough competitor. But I have one more sort of fun fact that I think could send us over the edge here too for a case for Ride Like the Wind. It
Okay.
is well documented. Christopher Cross has owned it himself that this song was actually written while Cross was tripping on LSD driving through Texas. So,
Yeah.
as mellow as you think it is, he's a full blown acid trip while he's writing this song. So, I'm like, if that doesn't seal the deal, I mean, come, I don't think I could write a song
It,
this strong, this enduring while tripping acid.
yeah, most people in that position would just be paranoid, right? He wrote a hit song about his paranoia, right? Like I'm on the run, no time to sleep, I gotta
Yeah,
go, right?
right. And then like gets this amazing, like it all comes together with Michael McDonald. Another fun fact that I learned about this song as well is that Christopher Cross originally wanted Don Henley of the Eagles to sing
Oh,
backing vocals on this song. Yeah, another Texas guy, Don
okay.
Henley. And it he just sort of like stumbled into it with Michael McDonald, and thank God, right? Because the song, and everybody that's ever listened to me on any show on Super Awesome Mix Network or otherwise knows I'm a huge Eagles fan, but I really cannot imagine the song without Michael McDonald. I just can't. I don't want to, honestly. I don't want to imagine it without Michael McDonald.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't.
I
And we're not going to
shouldn't.
make you think about it. We're not going to make
Don't.
you think about it.
Don't.
Okay, so obviously two very different vibes. We've talked about different fun facts. Let's get into the cultural relevance of these two songs. What
Sure.
say you as far as the difference here?
Well, again, I think the more just by a hair probably, but the more widely recognized song is probably Sailing, although I think you'd be hard pressed to find somebody that didn't know Ride Like the Wind, but I think Sailing is probably a little bit more well known. And Sailing did take home the bulk of awards that year over some of the
Hmm.
other songs. Both did really well. The songs charted, both of them I believe charted in 5 countries each. And so, I mean, that's huge. And then I know that that Ride Like the Wind finished 1980 as the number 17 song on the Billboard chart. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. Sailing was higher, but it's no small feat to make number 17 on the Billboard chart for the entire year. Of 1980. So I think that, culturally it's hard to decide which one's more important. I think it just boils down to like, are you in a mellow mood? Are you in an upbeat mood? Like, which one are you ready to hear? But I think for me, it's just the fact that Ride Like the Wind was his debut single. Like the first time you're ever hearing this guy is with this song. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. No, I think that's a really strong point. I hadn't really thought about that this is like, just because back then it's not as if, well, now I'll go to iTunes or Spotify and I'll listen to I just called it iTunes, Apple Music and Spotify, and I'll just listen to the whole album right now. It's like, well, I either got to go invest in this vinyl or just wait till some other single comes out, right?
Right.
So it's like you really had no other, you had limited choices there as to what, a way to hear more of this guy. So the fact that that hooked so many people is pretty special. I also thought, talking about cultural relevance, this song was around 1980. Then he's talking about running for the border. Of course, you had the old Taco Bell ad, making a
Right.
run for the border. And nowadays no one wants to go to the border, right? Like all we hear about is people running away from the border. So it's like kind of like, is that culturally relevant? Just how far we've come in relation to the border, right?
Right,
Like
right.
this used to be an escape going to the border. Now it's going away from the border. Yeah.
Totally true. And I think too, to go back just to like awards and cultural relevance, I don't remember exactly what the correlation is, but I want to say that nobody had swept the Grammys with like best single, best album, best new artist. I don't think anybody topped Christopher Cross
Hmm.
until Billie Eilish came along. So
Yeah.
that gives you a comparison, right? Like we're talking about, he was Billie Eilish level, Billie Eilish's first album level, right? Like he was that relevant and that much of a juggernaut that year when it came to Grammy Awards, and just being like a super um, powerful force on the music scene. So I feel like that's pretty relevant too, that like it took all the way until Billie Eilish to have, another trifecta of of winning the way he did.
Without a doubt. Yeah. I mean, I think both songs, I mean, look, there's a reason we had him go head to head against himself in
Right.
this tournament, because one of his songs has to be in the final eight, right? Like it has to
Totally.
be in the quarterfinals one way or the other. But for me, I think this is a tournament that's all about yacht rock, and I feel like it's got to be Sailing that moves forward, because that's just the quintessential song. And I think it's going to take something, as strong or stronger. And again, personally, I want to hear Ride Like the Wind, right? But when I'm looking at these two songs, when we're talking about a yacht rock battle, I feel like I have to go with Sailing. What about you?
I am 100% with you. Like if it's Jen's playlist and I have to decide between these two, every time I'm going to pick, or not every time, 7 times out of 10, I'm going to pick Ride Like the Wind. But I think because this entire season of the battle is yacht rock, I think that I think we would seem ill-informed if we did not choose Sailing in this particular bracket.
Yeah, it was without a doubt a number one seed, if we can make a March Madness reference, and it's got to move on, right? Like Ride
Has
Like the
to.
Wind's just not quite strong enough. So we're gonna put Sailing into the quarterfinals, but thank goodness Christopher Cross will advance no matter what, because he is yacht rock.
He is. He's the face, I think. At least when I think of yacht rock, that's who I see. When I close my eyes and think of yacht rock, which
which is
happens a
often,
lot.
which is
Happens a
often,
lot.
yes,
It is.
yeah, yeah.
I think of Christopher Cross and I see that album cover with the pink flamingo on it, like the whole 9 yards. Yep.
All right. Well, there you have it. Our first song to advance in season 3 of The Battle. Next week, we are back with the other battle in the heavyweight division. And who's another heavyweight in this genre? Of course, it is Kenny Loggins. Okay. We're going to look at his monster hit, This Is It, as it takes on another big song of his, Heart to Heart. So for Jen, this is Matt, and we will see you next week.